The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
We're going back to Cali. It is the Take 3 Wrestling podcast. A little different. Wednesday night we're recording this, March 29th, 2023. And we somehow got Binford's finest toolbox to join us. Full cast and crew tonight. Yeah, who? It is myself, aka Flight Time 820. That's not my hang time. Don't worry about it. I don't get that much hang time. We're joined by not Stang, Joe Lopez.
What's up?
Oh, there it is.
That was loud. That was
He's
louder
alive.
than he is to be.
Fat Hall.
Hey yo. I'm still confused by Joe Lopez, but
Yeah, I'm
I just gotta live with it. I gotta not focus on the details.
And we're also joined, like I said, by Binford's favorite toolbox, NWO Vincent.
What up?
We got a good show tonight for you guys. Obviously, probably the second biggest show we'll do all year. The only one bigger will probably be the Takey Awards at the end of the year, like we always do. It is the road to WrestleMania, and we have reached our final destination. It is coming up this weekend from SoFi Stadium in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Potentially cold Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, cold, huh? In late March? That's
Jim.
I don't care.
That's
Fuck
a little
off.
shocking.
I don't even want to hear it.
And,
Okay?
and Jim, calm down, Jim. I heard a show last week about your complaint about the cold weather. Calm down.
No, kiss my ass. I'm not being cold. Fuck you.
Cold.
Well, I mean, it's like going from 90 to an ice cube. Currently, the weather in
Yeah,
Los
I'm not
Angeles.
prepared for this.
Currently, the weather in Los Angeles, as my phone is so loading.
This is
very
how you
slowly.
know that Joe is officially a Florida boy, because
His blood got
now
real thin.
Yeah, he's only been here, what, a year and a half, 2 years now?
No, it's how
the
you know that I'm probably anemic.
That too.
Oh, yeah.
The temperature tomorrow morning here is supposed to be 33. Fuck
I-
all of you.
I
Ew.
can't get
First world problems, Jimothy.
Just saying.
Jimothy. All right,
But
so
why do you do that to yourself? Move to Florida.
Exactly. Well, he have to fly.
I don't think
He
that's
won't fly.
happening.
He won't.
I don't
he
need to move.
He
I don't
ain't
need
flying.
to
He
do
ain't
that.
flying. He ain't flying.
I can drive
Even
to
if-
Florida, you idiot.
thank you. I was gonna say, even if he decided
I know he ain't flying here.
he could drive though.
Like,
His legs ain't
I
broken.
drove here from Maine. Like, wait,
Well, hold on. Did you drive here from Maine, or did somebody else drive you here from Maine?
Yeah, thank you.
you drove here from Maine, but
There
I
we
was
go.
All right, there we
Yeah,
go.
There we go.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Currently
Also,
in LA,
Mike-
it's 55 degrees.
Hey, Mike, fix your mic. Fix your face. Like your to the
I'll
right.
move in a minute.
Okay.
I'm
Fix your
looking.
face.
Fix my face.
Fix your face.
Fix your
No,
face.
fix your
bitch.
camera. EJ, fix your face.
The forecast 60-46, 65-47, 67-48, 66-51, 63-49.
Yeah, that's fucking
Wow,
gorgeous.
that's great. No, but to be clear though, that's cold for March, California though.
See, no, but it's also cold because it was like 92 here like yesterday. So, Jim's like, "Oh man, it's such a beautiful day." Yeah, that's 20 degrees. Yeah, but that's 20 degrees warmer for you, where it's like 20 degrees colder for us. So it's like literally like an ice cube. All right, enough
Jim
about
was complaining about fucking weather. 33 degrees. That's
Sure.
not bad.
all right, enough about California weather.
Oh,
Let's
you
get
would
to.
freeze your fucking ass off up here.
I was gonna say, are you gonna say diabetic ass, or are you gonna say like
Well, that too. Well,
was gonna say-
the weird part, we're all born.
which one are you
in-
going with here?
Well, we're all born up north. That's the funny thing, though. All four of us.
Yeah, well,
No.
you're not here. You're not from here anymore.
I was gonna say, I think once you reach the quota of being gone for like 7 years, I think it's like statute of limitations.
Yeah,
That or,
yeah.
that or
Statutes
you're,
that they can't
wait,
claim us
that
no
or you're
more.
anemic. One of the two.
Wait, Ernest, you got the sugar?
Yeah, man. Getting healthy, brother. Getting healthy.
Ah.
Try to get on your level, man. So I can show my six pack too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I swear to God. If
I
you ever
mean,
show
I
that
swear
on
to
this
God,
show, I
yeah.
will fucking.
By this time next year,
It
I'll
will
be
be
Joe
the
I'll be
last.
Joe Lomas number 2.
Oh, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah, that's not
You-
gonna happen.
I'm gonna
you have a
fucking
s-
show my
okay,
six-pack, motherfucker.
Hold on. We're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna do this. If you have a 6-pack by next year's WrestleMania, because all of us should be together at some
Allegedly.
point. Yeah, I don't think Ernest is showing up. Let's be real here. Toolbox.
Well,
Binford.
we're planning on going.
Yeah, okay.
No, well, listen. My wife brought it up this week.
Allegedly.
My wife brought up this week about PA.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
She's on board.
Thanks, Jim.
She might go. I don't know why I'll go.
Yeah, okay, bum, whatever you say. 6-pack, if you have one by WrestleMania next year, the true main event will take place at the Airbnb that we all rent together. It'll be Joe Lopez versus Ernest Christian in a pose-off.
Oh shit! Like Rick Rude Warrior.
Rick
shit.
Rude versus the Warrior. We will do and me, Jim, and Ryan will be doing the commentary like Bobby Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon, and Jesse Ventura. Look
For
at
the record,
Warrior.
For the record,
Thermite Paint McMahon.
if I do strip them and show my abs, it will only be the second time I've stripped on the show. For the record,
I just wanted to sit at some point, be like, look at the size of that ab.
I'm hot.
Thermite Paint McMahon. All right.
Look at that
Enough of this
keg.
movie. Somebody tap that keg as I'm drinking tequila. All right. So we're going to talk, obviously, night 1, night 2. We'll get into that in a little bit. We also have the end of the main event brackets, but let's get to where we need to get to start this thing. It is the start of the biggest weekend in WWE, and it starts with the biggest weekend for NXT. It will be Stand and Deliver from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California, home of the Clippers and Lakers. I don't have the card in front of me. Does Jim, you have it?
Yeah, I have it up.
Cool. All right, let's talk about what we know. I guess let's start with the big one, I guess, because I know that one. NXT title match, Braun Breaker, Mello Don't Miss, Carmelo Hayes. Probably the biggest match in NXT in a long, long time. One of the more built matches, as Joe Lopez has changed his name to I'm confused by my feelings for Joe Lopez. I just noticed that as I was thinking of something.
Something.
Obviously, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, the two biggest names that they've built since probably a guy named Gargano, Johnny, and Ciampa, Tommaso.
Probably.
Tomato chips.
So I guess let's think about this. Braun Breaker is at the almost like feels like a jillion day run of NXT champion, even though he lost it for like 2 weeks to Dolph Ziggler or something. I guess is it time for Braun to drop it and move on, or is this Mello go into the main roster? Because I don't necessarily know that.
So he's this reign itself
A year, right?
has been
Really longer.
357 days currently. So yeah,
Okay.
357. Yeah, there was a 27-day reign by Ziggler, and then it was 63 days. So I mean, we're basically looking at the last 410 days that Breaker's held this thing. That's all. It goes back to New Year's Evil of 22.
Jesus Christ.
I guess the question is is he ready to be called up now, Braun?
Can we also talk about how awful it is that this fucking show is starting at 10 o'clock local time?
Is it because of the amount of time to get from Crypto to
100%.
Inglewood?
100%.
Yeah,
They should
I didn't realize it was a 1 o'clock Eastern start.
They should literally
Oh shit! Right.
They should literally rent vans and just police escort us to the shows if you really want people to go to both.
I
That
thought
would be
it was a 2
amazing.
p.m. start like last year, and then I was like, oh shit, we got to get to Matt's an hour early.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, like this, I think this match is complicated because part of me feels like Carmelo is more main roster ready than Braun is.
Would you say that this is the second most complicated match of the weekend?
Yes.
Of the entire weekend, I mean.
Oh yes, of the entire weekend.
Yeah, at least the WWE weekend.
Sure. Because we're only talking about WWE tonight. We're not talking about Supercard of Honor, even though me and Joe may be in attendance because Katsuyori Shibata is wrestling a match at that show. But literally, aside from the obvious main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, I feel like this is the most wild card.
Yeah.
Like, it could go either way.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, you can go first.
No, go ahead.
Well, okay. So I have a personal vendetta against Braun Breaker at the moment. You see, I signed him into my WCW on the My GM mode in WWE 2K23 that Mike and I are playing. And I thought, oh, great signing. He had like not too much of a contract. You know, I put him as a heel. I was like, let's try something different. And this man, he sends me an email and he's like, hey, I think you should put me in backstage brawls because I'm really good at those. And I'm like, okay, maybe I got you, bud. So I go and I look. Those matches cost $90,000. That's more than a Hell in a Cell match. So I didn't do it, and now he's all pissy, and so I think Carmelo Hayes should win.
Hey, I mean, I can't think of any better reason why. Right? Yeah,
Sold.
like
sold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this like I feel like the NXT brand needs a new champion.
It needs a fresh coat of paint.
But like, I also like there's nothing else for Braun to do in NXT, right? Like, how do you go from it's kind of like the Asuka thing. Like, how do you go from 400 days as champion to are you gonna be going for the North American title next week? Like,
oh yeah, that Braun Breaker Dragon Lee match was gonna
right? Like are you just gonna be like just they're not doing anything on like the quote unquote main event for NXT? So like if he loses, he almost has to come up. And it's not that he's not ready, but I feel like Carmelo is more ready. But I will predict, because I think NXT needs it, Carmelo Hayes. Like Hayes could easily win now, lose it in a couple of months at Great American Bash or something. And
to Grayson Walha.
Yeah, and then move up as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Hayes because NXT, he's the hero NXT needs right now.
Without you watching the product like on a weekly basis, like it feels like Hayes is makes most sense at this point.
I mean, I think it makes the most sense just because of how long Braun's held the title for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if he was on day like 185 of his first reign, I think this is a little bit even more complex. I said it, and we'll talk about it in a little bit when we talk about night 1. What better way than to cap a weekend for Braun Breaker? Drop the NXT title and then win the US title from John Cena in an open challenge.
Oh.
So for that to happen, Melo, don't miss.
That's fair.
Take it, Melo.
Hello.
Joe's muted. I don't know if he's here anywhere near far. He's probably packing. Jim, what's the next match? And we'll let Joe pick when he.
Yeah, let's go to the unsanctioned match. It is Johnny Gargano doing the bidding for Shawn Michaels in this feud with Grayson Waller in an unsanctioned match.
Waller.
You got Waller. Well, yeah, I mean, why would he lose, right?
I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, honestly, I hope Johnny wins because, again, probably the biggest Johnny Gargano fan, definitely on this show. But if Waller versus Melo is the next inevitable move to then get the title off of Melo, you can't have him lose to Johnny, even though Johnny is technically the heart and soul of NXT. You know, I would love for this to, like, I would have loved for Johnny to be the end game later, like bring back other guys who have wrestled in NXT for Grayson to feud with leading to Johnny. But like, it was just kind of like catapulted, like, oh, hey, here's Johnny Gargano.
Right. Yeah. And and because it's unsanctioned, you know, there's like, I don't think it's going to be just a one, like, it's not going to be a one-on-one affair here. I think there's gonna be assistance for Waller to help with Gargano down.
Who helps him beat Johnny?
To be honest, I don't know. I haven't watched NXT since I don't know what was the Vengeance Day maybe. Probably more likely was what was the show in December?
Oh, Deadline.
Yeah, that was probably the last time I really watched NXT. So, but I think there's you know there's gonna be people involved.
Maybe it's the start of some kind of alliance with Grayson and someone. Don't know who though.
EJ.
Yeah, I'll go Waller too. But what makes a lot of sense. If you're gonna move him into the picture against Carmelo, if Carmelo would have won the match against Braun, that makes the most sense actually. So yeah, Waller too.
Joe's back. Any prediction on Mello versus Braun Beaker?
Carmelo Hayes to win.
Okay, and Gargano versus Waller.
I think Gargano wins this one. He's Mr. NXT. He's the face of the match. Waller doesn't actually lose anything by losing this match to Gargano. I think that's how good of a heel Waller is. Again, that's like really big props that I could say. It's something that Seth Rollins mastered in 2022 for most of the year, where he didn't win like a damn match and was still somehow the main event talent on Raw. You know, it's a talent to be able to be so good at being a bad guy that you can lose really big matches and it doesn't affect you. In fact, you might even be better coming out of it because now it's like, okay, you're going to get your next couple of wins and then the audience is once again going to really want to see you lose. So I think Waller is in a really good position right now. That man needs to be brought up to one of the main rosters ASAP, in my opinion. I very cleverly tag teamed him with Austin Theory. They are the hottest tag team on the planet and in Joe's WCW. So I encourage WWE to do that, honestly, or at least just bring him up to the main roster. But yeah, I think Gargano wins the match.
All right. Let's go to the 8-person mixed tag team match. Winner gains control of Chase U. It is Chase U. Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, and Thea Hale, and Tyler Bate taking on Schism, Joe Gacy, Jagger Reed, Rip Fowler, and Ava. I don't know who half these fucking people are. Mike,
Jesus.
Go ahead.
Chase U, Duke Hudson.
Wait. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter who half those people are. This is like back in 1997 when you didn't know who any of Los Boricuas were. You just knew it was Savio Vega and like 5 guys that he picked up outside of a Home Depot. It was fine. You just go with it.
And you were worried about me last night with the Lamar Jackson take.
Joe has no limits.
No. Jim was like, tread lightly here because
it was hot take.
And he just dropped a Los Boricuas on us right now.
You sure did.
You did well last time, Mike. You did well last night.
Thank you.
Sure did.
So what I'll say here with this match, it is the in-ring debut of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter, part of Schism with Joe Gacy, who Jim is probably the one person that Jim actually knows out of this match, but not because
I'm aware of the Chase U folks.
Okay.
I don't know who Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler are, but I knew that was The Rock's daughter.
The grizzled young vets from NXT UK, James Gibson or Zach Gibson and James Drake under new names because they needed new characters. So it's them with Gacy and The Rock's daughter against Duke, Bate, the former Harlem Bravado of old school Ring of Honor days, who is Andre Chase. And I don't know where they got Theo Hall from.
You could have come across your like indie wrestling local areas as Harlem Bravado.
I thought Jim was getting ready to say something when I said Harlem Bravado.
No. I'm just trying to not
throw up.
Sure.
Los Boricuas.
Oh boy.
So does that make Joe Savio Vega and we're the 3 random people that he picked up from Home Depot?
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
I was asking for a friend. I don't think that was an uh-oh. I was asking. That being said, Duke Hudson turns on Chase U, breaks away from Chase U to do his own thing, costs them the match, and Schism gets control of Chase U.
All right, EJ.
The first team. I
Face
like you. Yeah.
Gotcha. Joe.
Feel like Chase U wins this match, but I really like what Mike just said. I think that's a great way to continue the story and the feud. And I don't know what else you do with these guys if you don't continue it in some capacity. So I'm still going to pick Chase U because I just think that they're going to win. But I wouldn't be upset if it goes the way Mike has suggested.
I think the Rock's daughter will get the pin in this match. I
would think that's a pretty safe assessment.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best play. So I'll say Schism takes control of Chase U. All right, then we go to the triple threat tag team match for the NXT tag team titles. We have the champions Gallus defending against the D'Angelo family and the Creed brothers. Michael.
So we got
Michael,
Bruce Creed, Julius Creed, Creed, taking on Tony Meatballs. Thank you. Tony Gabagool and
it's Mozzarella and Gabagool.
Yep. And then they're taking on the champs, which is Gallus, correct?
Mozzarella.
I'm gonna take the champs to retain.
They just won these, right? Like just within the last couple
Vengeance
weeks. Day,
I think.
Yeah.
That being said, here's what I believe occurs. I believe they beat Gabagool and Mozzarella. I still think that, and we're again a match we're going to talk about shortly.
Thank you.
I think it's coming, and I think it happens on the Raw after WrestleMania because I think the official breakup of the Alpha Academy takes place at WrestleMania in the tag match, leading to Otis and the Maxim Male Models having a lot of fun, and Chad Gable needing someone to be serious behind, and I believe that is the Creed brothers. And what you could do is you could then record a video with the quote still injured Roderick Strong, where he is like passing them from the Diamond Mine to the Alpha Academy, like they graduated Diamond Mine to go to Alpha Academy.
Yep. EJ,
I'll go Creed brothers.
Okay.
Won't it. He just wanted that to play again.
Yeah, that's why.
Joe.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my good friend Carl Calamari.
So yeah, he's got the D'Angelo family. Yeah, I think Gallus retains. I don't like the idea of them being just this weird 3 week
transitional like question mark champs.
Yeah. So I think there's definite potential for the Creed brothers to move up. I mean, what else can they do here? And
what the fuck?
I didn't even know the D'Angelo family was a thing. What happened?
You got breaking news?
No, I have really bad news.
Don't tell me that. Oh no!
For fuck's sakes!
What?
They just canceled our flight.
What?
You're lying, right?
No, I have a text and an email. They literally just canceled our flight
because
Jesus. Do you need to leave?
You guys just keep going. Give me. I'm just.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, let me. I'll pull you off the video for now. Damn, that's no good.
Wow, jeez. I thought he was just saying that. Wow.
I've had that happen before. We've been doing this since 2011. The only year we didn't do it was 2020 for obvious reasons. If you think this is
What
the first
happened then?
time,
What happened 2020?
oh, it was crazy. They only sold one ticket. So
One
if
fan.
you think, yeah, and like Mike and I didn't want to fight over it, so we just let this big fan have it. Anyway,
Fair.
if you think this is the first time that at least one of us hasn't had to deal with a canceled flight, either to or from, like it's definitely happened before. It's
Oh,
stressful,
okay.
but like we'll figure it out. You know, tomorrow is Thursday morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we'll get there by Saturday. You know, like we'll figure it out. I'm not worried.
So, off to the side here, Joe. How far did you get in your Mania journey?
So
Yeah.
if I was stopping at this exact moment, I got about halfway through the Iron Man match, which I tried to watch 3 times and fell asleep all 3 times.
Jesus.
Which isn't my fault. And I don't mean that to be a criticism of the match, to be perfectly honest, because I actually thought it was kind of entertaining. That's why I kept trying to rewatch it instead of just moving on. Because there were a couple of Hulk Hogan main events I fell asleep during that I did not go back for. I was definitely just like, no,
Which ones?
you know what? Mostly the Slaughter one, a little bit of the Warrior one. Like they were just like I've seen them before. I've seen them before countless times, and they're not the world's greatest matches anyway. So I was definitely like, okay, I can move on past these. I wanted to watch the whole Iron Man match, and I still might at some point tonight. I mean, apparently I don't have to be up at 5:30 in the morning anymore. So I might still get the Iron Man match finished at least, and maybe get to like the start of 13. But and like I said, like so that was more because I was getting home from work at like 12 o'clock at night and walking the dog and then sitting down and throwing it on, and then I'm almost 40 and I'm pretty sure partly narcoleptic. So I just fall asleep. It happens. And so yeah, like it's nothing against the match. In fact, honestly, I was just talking to Mike about it the other day. I think parts of that match were brilliant. Like the fact that they would work rest holds for like 10 minutes and then hit one big spot that isn't even necessarily a big spot. And that became enough story for the next like 5 minutes as they did another rest hold. Like literally, it's like rest hold, rest hold, rest hold. Brett hits Sean with a clothesline. Sean fucking eats it like his name is Paul London. And then all of a sudden, again, but now the announcers spend the next 5 minutes just talking about that fucking clothesline. That's brilliant. That is actually
and for the record, no one's
doing so little and so much, like so much with so little. Like it's brilliant.
And nobody sells better than Shawn Michaels in this business. I'm telling you right now. That dude knew how to sell.
Like I'm not gonna say that nobody ever sold better, because I think Kurt Hennig, there's definitely an argument.
I also think Michaels comically oversold it.
Oh no, in moments, but I'm talking about when Michaels was focused and was in the story and did what he had to do. I think him and Savage probably in my two favorite sellers of all time.
Hulk Hogan, basically.
I will now real quick. You mentioned the Mania 6, a Hogan Warrior. I will give them this though on that match. For two guys that don't really wrestle well, obviously, they told a good story in that match.
That match makes no sense because it was so much better than it had any right being.
Yeah, it was because it's a storytelling within it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's anyway. Let's keep moving through NXT.
Okay.
Michael jump back in when he can. We have the Fatal 5-Way match for the North American Champion. It is Wes Lee defending against his cousin Dragon Lee. Just kidding.
Who?
Stop it. JD McDonough, Ilya Dragunov, and Axiom EJ.
I know Dragunov, and I just for that I'll
wait.
What?
If Dragon Lee's cousin with Wesley, is Dragon Lee also cousins on the other side with Dragunov?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
Wesley and Ilya Dragunov are second cousins.
Like distant, like through marriage, and like fucking Dragon Lee is just the middle person, like most Latinos.
This is how you know I haven't watched NXT in a very long time. There are more names now on this card alone that I don't know than the people I do know.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I'm kind of at that point too.
Give me fucking Dragunov. Fuck it.
There you go. Only name you recognize.
Well, yeah,
that way. Joe.
So I feel like you don't have Dragon Lee lose in his debut, but I also feel like given the kind of match that it is, it's not like he has to take the pin or anything. So you can get away with actually having him not win. So with all that said, I'm going to take Dragon Lee.
Yeah. And it's weird because I feel like the North American title has kind of been really kind of like seen and recognized within NXT as like what the Intercontinental title used to be, like way back in the day in WWE. It's like the worker title, almost like a TV title, somewhat. So it almost feels weird having somebody new come in and take it. So while I think it might be Dragon Lee, just to be different, I'll say that Wesley actually retains.
Keep it in
But yeah, this match should be just a insane little clusterfuck. But NXT always does those really, really well.
Yeah.
All right, tag team match for the NXT women's tag team titles. Fallon Henley and Kiana James defending against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, which I think weren't Fire and Dawn the champions that Henley and James won them from, or they had been the champions at one point, I believe.
That was no, the people they beat were Katana Chance and Christina
That's
Carter,
right.
who are like a fucking awesome tag team.
All of these just names of teams that I have no clue who the hell these people are.
Let me help you out. So albacore tuna is my favorite kind of tuna, so I think albacore Fire is going to win this match.
I love that. I love that. All right, EJ, how about you?
I'm going to roll with Joe because he said that. That was great.
Well, yeah. You know what? Sure. It's sound reasoning. I can't argue with it. Clean sweep on that one. Then we go ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez cleared last night, so she will compete and defend her title against Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyra. Is that what? Who the hell is that? Who are these people?
I have no
not
idea.
Taya Valkyrie because she's in AEW
She's
now.
in AEW.
So it's not like just her
Okay,
with
hold
a bad
on.
name.
This is a dress run for tomorrow night on 3 Count. She Irish
I
professional
hope none of your
wrestler,
flights get canceled.
currently signed to WWE. She's reporting under the name Lyra Valkyria. Oh, Jesus Christ. No clue who that person is. So I'm gonna find a new wrestler
Is she doing a like Cat in the Hat Dr. Seuss gimmick? Because like
I
that
don't
name.
even know. Let me see if I can get a picture of her real quick here. And then also Indy Hartwell is in this matchup as well. So Joe, we'll start with you while I find a photo here.
Roxana Perez.
EJ?
Trying to find them. Hold on. Perez. She came back. She just came back recently tonight, right? Or last night, right?
Yeah, she was cleared. She was cleared last night.
The whole thing's kind of interesting.
So this is Lyra Valkyria.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea who that is.
No idea who this is.
Thanks, Jim. For folks on YouTube, we just showed a picture of her, by the way. For folks on YouTube.
Yeah, so if you're on the podcast side, go to your Google machine, type in Lyra Valkyria, and you'll see the photo. Or just watch NXT Stand and Deliver, and you'll learn who she is with everybody else.
1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. She looks like if Sonya Deville had a clone and then they had a kid.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Not saying you're wrong. You know what? I'm gonna say Tiffany Stratton. I feel like all signs have started to point her way as of late, just from what I've kind of picked up on social media. So I think they're gonna make that move now to kind of see if she can take the next step in growing, because like she kind of has this traditional like WWE superstar, like female superstar like look to her. But you got to find out if there's substance to it, because it's not just about the visual package anymore with the WWE. So yeah, I think Stratton's going to win here, and they're going to see what she's got as champion. Yes,
remember that song before, Because I Got High? Y'all know that song?
Afro Man, right?
Yeah.
So I was sitting here hitting the bong, singing that to myself, and then I started singing to myself, Don't Tell Mike, but this just popped in my head, and I was like, I was gonna go to Wrestlemania, but then my flight got canceled.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
All right,
Joe, you're terrible. You know that shit.
That
Don't tell me.
that is gonna do it for NXT Stand and Deliver again this Saturday, April the 1st, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. On the West Coast, or I guess it would be 7 a.m. Where my wife is currently in Hawaii. She'll be on her way back on Saturday. But good God, like it is. I mean, for people in like the UK, this is a great start time because it's dinner time. But yeah, the whole time difference things are jacked up. So prepare yourself for the start of a long day. And let's transition right into the big show. Not to be confused with Paul White, also known as but WrestleMania, live from the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, not Los Angeles, but hey, it's all Hollywood, right? Saturday night, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 o'clock, I would assume is your kickoff show each night. So we will start. I'm going to run through the matches that are confirmed for night one, and then I will run through the matches that we don't know what night they're going to take place, and then we're going to get to the only match that we know is happening on night two. And that's of course the big one with the two biggest guys on the poster, again, if you're watching on the YouTube channel. But yeah, let's start with the match that's starting the show. Joe, deep breath. Austin Theory defending the United States title against John Cena. Joe, we'll start with you.
Love the fact that it kind of looks like a stepdad, stepson porn. I think we all win, is the truth about this match.
God, Joe, what's wrong with you, man?
Nothing wrong with him.
For official purposes, I will take John Cena.
All right, EJ.
The thing is, it doesn't make any sense. Why would Cena win? He comes back to this. I got Theory, and I think Theory wins relatively clean too. Honestly, I don't see what Cena wins the U.S. title. Then what? You know, it doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm trying to
open challenge Raw after Mania.
I guess, but
whether it's somebody returning, whether it's somebody coming up from NXT,
Theory,
you can have Theory winning back, yeah.
But the Theory rebrand has worked so well. It's worked so well.
But Theory doesn't lose anything by losing to Cena.
Yeah, it's big match John, man. The guy's 10-5 at WrestleMania. I don't think it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt Theory at all. Here's the deal.
I think he'll be fine.
Up until they announced that this was opening the show, I thought Theory, I won't go as far as to say had to win, but I thought Theory was going to be likely to win. The minute they announced that this was opening night one, I'm like, man, this feels like a John Cena win right away. Because like, you have to start off each night, but especially this is going to set the tone for the next 8 hours of WWE programming, right?
Yeah.
Like what's better than big match John in what is probably, let's be honest here, probably his last WrestleMania match. Like getting the US title, something that those Cena Open challenges when he had the US title the last time were spectacular. Like I think him getting that win and setting the pace and setting the tone for the weekend is the best way to start. So I'm gonna pick Cena. I don't think depending how it's done, I don't know that it would be bad if Theory wins, but I think it's better if John wins.
So that angle you brought about the starting the entire weekend, starting the entire Mania show, I didn't think about that till you mentioned it. Now you say that, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Because it would be kind of weird if Theory did win that match as the first match out the shoot, and then kind of sets the vibe to kind of a weird lull.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense.
It's weird that I think it's weird to have especially if it's winning clean, like a heel champion winning clean over John Cena to start Mania. Just it has a weird vibe to it to me.
That's a good point though.
And like some of the
best parts have
been derailed by weird books.
Say again?
If this was 1986, this match would end in a disqualification.
Right.
Fair point. Who knows? Maybe it won't. Maybe it will, but I don't know.
But yeah, I like Cena to win. All right. Next one here. We have Seth freaking Rollins versus a guy who allegedly, reportedly, right out of the horse's mouth, is his contract, his current deal expires after this match. Logan Paul, EJ.
Yeah, that. I mean, are we gonna assume that he'll still probably be like, I don't know how they do the contracts, like month to month or whatever maybe, because I can see this thing going into SummerSlam.
I think for guys like him, it's
right. He has a lot of things going outside of wrestling, of course. I know. I see this going into this route. We're going into SummerSlam, so it'll make sense for Logan Paul to win this match.
Ooh, okay. Joe.
I'd say, first of all, I do think that this is not the end of Logan Paul. I'm assuming the last contract that he had was like a 1-year, 4-match contract, because that seems to be the timeline and what we got out of him. So I'm going to get, or 4 or 5 matches, whatever. I'm going to guess we end up getting kind of the same deal out of him, because look, he is a great attraction, like the same way Brock is, the same way Roman and Cody have become. Logan Paul is one of those. John Cena, like he is someone who you don't need to see him at WrestleMania Backlash, but yeah, roll him out at SummerSlam, roll him out at WrestleMania. Give me him, in a Saudi Arabia show. Give me him to make the event feel extra big and extra special. I'm down for that because honestly, he's got a lot of personality. He's got to be a heel. It didn't work for me when they tried for him to be a face for a little bit there. But like him doing the whole heel thing right now, him being super cocky, him being like, who the hell I am, who my family is, who my brother is, like all of that works great for me. So I don't know. I'm thinking Seth wins this one because I think I don't see the heel winning here, but that's just me.
And for record, Seth has won a big match like this in a long time, since Mania 35, I think. Actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Look, I've been very much on the record about Seth Rollins is basically bulletproof, in this company, and up until his promo on Raw, I would have been like, yeah, there's a decent shot Logan Paul wins this. But when Seth Rollins like is in the ring and is like, if I lose to Logan Paul, like the problem is with me, and I don't know if he's wanted to take some time off, if he's a little banged up or it's something like that. Like because he's been on a fucking run.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude has been going nonstop since before the pandemic. So I wouldn't necessarily blame him if he needs some time off.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen. I've been back watching wrestling in the last 4 years. I don't think I've seen him take a time off at all since I've been.
I mean,
since
besides
watching.
his injury when
Right.
when he blew his knee out,
Right, that's it.
He's pretty much been like one of the top dudes. So, and maybe he does lose and does kind of take a break and comes back and reinvents himself again because he's kind of that guy. But I think Rollins almost needs to win here. Because he has kind of been on this run where he loses to everybody. And it's fine. He's great, but like at some point you can't just be that guy. So I think this has the potential to be one of the best matches of the weekend. But yeah, I think it's Rollins. Did we lose Joe? I think we lost.
Yeah, we lost Joe. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's Rollins. It's like Rollins's match to lose, basically.
I will say this though, to your point though.
There you go. There he's back.
Nobody gets hurt losing this weekend of these two guys. They said Seth is bulletproof. Logan Paul, he loses. Okay, big deal.
Logan Paul. I think both guys are okay. I think
the quality of the match will supersede the result.
Agreed. Yeah. This match should be fantastic. Okay. 6-woman tag team match. It is Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch taking on Damage Control. Of course, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Joe.
Yeah.
So I hit the bong and I was coughing. I think I don't know. The rumor here is Trish is gonna turn heel, and we're gonna get like a Trish and Becky match at like SummerSlam or some shit. So I guess Damage Control certainly could use the win anyway, right? Like they could use something big happening for a change. So yeah, let's go Damage Control.
All right, EJ.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes any sense. First off, let's start there. Like they're the ones that need to run more than anybody else. Number two, I'm disappointed that you got two women in this 6-man tag that should be have their own programs going right now. Like Bayley and Becky Lynch should be having their own program, by themselves. I mean, I get why they're doing it. So obviously there's going to be a bigger payoff story wise in this match. And I guess maybe was it Lita and who else? Is it Lita and Trish, right? Turn on Becky. Maybe this match some that effect, and who knows? But I love this. I'd rather have seen obviously Becky and Bayley on a solo. Not saying against each other, but
Becky and Bayley. See, okay.
I'm not saying against each other. I'm saying in general.
But what? Okay, but what are they? Who are they going to do it though? Because like they've had their own thing for the last 6 months. Asuka's wrestling Bianca. Charlotte's wrestling Rhea. I mean, besides that, Ronda's reportedly not 100% healthy, so that's why she's in the tag match. And then, I mean, the rest of your women's division: Liv, Raquel, Natalya, Shotzi, Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville, Dana Brooke, Piper Niven, Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I'm the same as a fan.
None of those people scream Becky or Bayley WrestleMania matches, right? So I don't think there's a problem with them being in this match. I would have preferred if Becky and Lita, although that was kind of the catalyst to Trish returning and Damage Control and all of that. I would prefer the tag team titles not on the line here, or not on the line somewhere, but it is what it is. But I think this is easily a Damage Control victory because if you watch some of the details from this past Monday, everything was about Becky and Lita being champions. Trish Stratus was there to support them and defend them, and like Trish was like in the background. Like imagine like Trish Stratus, arguably until Charlotte Flair came into the picture, arguably the greatest female wrestler in the history of the company, and she's all of a sudden playing third fiddle. So this easily to me looks like a Trish Stratus heel turn, especially given that like there's There's Toronto. They're in Toronto for Raw right before SummerSlam in Detroit.
Okay.
Like that's a Trish Stratus special right there, if you ask me. So yeah, I think Trish turns here. Damage Control gets the win. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if it'll be Trish versus Becky 1-on-1. If you have the tag titles in there somewhere, that'll remain to be seen. But yeah, I think it's a Damage Control victory here. All right, singles match: Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. EJ.
I mean, look, I know people not looking for this match, but to me, Brock does not set up for any match. Even just to think that he can get Omos over. So that in itself intrigues me to watch this match, and we might be surprised. We may be surprised by how this turns out. Omos needs to win. He needs to win. I mean, I just don't see. Okay, Brock wins the match, and then what? I mean, the idea is to get Omos over to the next level. I mean, I know that's how we feel about Omos as in-ring product and whatnot, but I just don't see. Look, it won't be clean. That's the starters. MVP is involved. Someone else gets involved, but Omos wins this match.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, I think Brock's gonna win. I think the whole reason this match is even happening is because Brock wants his moment with lifting up a giant, hitting it at 5 or 7. You know, like I think that's the whole reason why this is on WrestleMania.
Brock handpicked Omos too to do this.
Did he?
From what I've heard, like they offered him up Bray Wyatt, he turned that down.
Well, I don't know if he necessarily handpicked Omos. He does. Brock has the ability to yes or no his feud. So right. Yeah, there is that report about the that he turned down a match with Bray.
He turned this down. Let's put that way.
Like, Brock's not going to work anybody he doesn't at least want to. I'm one of the people that has no desire to see this match. If I have to go to the bathroom or grab a drink or something to eat during this match, I will do so. I don't think the match obviously is not going to be very long. What I will say about this is the last chance to make something out of Omos.
Yeah.
Okay. If Omos loses, like it's done. He's not going to be the Big Show. He's not going to be the Giant. He's not going to be that dude. If he loses, he's almost going to go the way of Giant Gonzalez. Okay. Maybe not to that degree, but if he loses here, we're done. We're done. There's no ideas of grandeur and all of that. Even if he wins, I think the prospect of him being any sort of a top of the card guy, anything like that, I don't know that we ever get there. A win will certainly help his career without question. To beat Brock Lesnar. So formally, I'm picking Brock Lesnar because I don't want or need Omos as a anything more than what he is on the card. But if the WWE wants to make something of him, make something more of him, this is your shot. This is your last chance.
Let me say this one now. You can't say they didn't try because look, if you're getting a guy in Rutgers who's a legacy guy, one of you can argue a top 10 all-time WWE guy, okay? And if if you're pairing him with Omos, I mean, clearly you have to.
I mean, 4 years ago you brought Omos in and he was AJ Styles tag team partner. So they've tried multiple times.
Right. This is the same guy that beat the Streaks. I mean, you compare him with Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a big deal. They see something, I guess. So,
for sure. All right. Then we go singles match for the Raw Women's title. Bianca Belair defending against Asuka. Joe.
That's the win here. I think it's time to do Asuka. I think it's time to move on from Bianca. It's time to do something different.
Mhm.
Yeah, EJ.
I think Bianca wins here. However, she also turns heel here as well and leaves here with the title and a different look. Because I agree with Joe, it's time something new.
Yeah.
But I can see a scenario where she turns heel and still gets to wins dirty.
See, man, this one's really strange because like Bianca right now clearly a face. Asuka is somewhere in that tweener portal. You know what I mean? Like
Tweenish, yeah.
Like she's back. She looks different. She has the face paint. She's doing the blue mist thing. But like people still kind of like to cheer her because she's Asuka and she's cool and we love Asuka.
She's adorable.
And so I don't know that you do the full like character change, haircut, face paint to not have Asuka become like evil Asuka. So I think it's Asuka that wins and fully signifies herself into that heel realm. You know, I think Bianca can probably like take a little time off. I'm not even saying maybe a month at most. And when she comes back, there is a noticeable difference. Like it's not happy, skipping, smiling, twirling the hair. Because you know she was cooler and more badass when she had that attitude and that swagger in NXT. So
yeah,
more of that upon a return.
What if we see Kairi Sane come here and get involved in this match? Because there's rumors about her come back.
Yeah,
to the
I mean
States.
she's a free agent, so
yeah.
certainly possible. And of course the history there, former women's tag team champions Asuka and Kairi. So I wouldn't put it out of the question. I certainly wouldn't put it. And that you know with Triple H, he loves Kairi Sane and Asuka. So yeah, it's definitely possible there. And lastly, a match that has been, and we talked about it last week. The Royal Rumbles were billed as the men's winner and the women's winner get a main event at WrestleMania. So I'm operating as if this is going to be the main event until proven otherwise. Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown women's title against Rhea Ripley. Also weird that both brand women's titles are on the same show.
Yeah, that's really strange.
That just occurred to me.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Interesting. Especially given that we know Theory and Cena are opening. So interesting. Okay. Anyway, Charlotte and Rio. EJ.
I mean, first off, I'm not feeling the Charlotte babyface thing. She's a tweener at best. That's it. But I mean, this is set up for Rhea. I mean, I don't see where you go if Charlotte wins the match. Where this goes next. This is also payback from 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they met, right? Mania at 36.
Yeah,
36. So this is a long-term story that's going to get paid off finally. You finally got the reboot for Rhea 2 years later. It's worked perfection. She's as hot as she's probably ever going to be. Who knows? You pay it off now, and I think Rhea wins it here.
All right, Joe.
Pretty much agree. I mean, Rhea's on a roll. She's arguably become the biggest women's star that the company has. I don't see how you don't give her her crowning moment here.
Yeah, I mean, she went bell to bell in the Royal Rumble. She's been literally and figuratively about the hottest thing in WWE here in recent memory. I feel like this Mania is the Judgment Day Mania. So I'm scared to say these words, but I would be shocked if Charlotte Flair retains. Like legitimately shocked.
And I'll be honest with you too. I don't think Charlotte's at a point where she actually needs the title as much as you think.
No.
She's made. She's like Seth Rollins. She's made.
Yeah, and I mean you can't. Here's the deal, because this was title win number 14, I believe, for her, right?
Yeah.
You can't get to 17 if you don't lose 14.
Thank you. Yep.
Like, I know math is gonna math, but let's be honest. Like, and Charlotte Flair is gonna hit 17. There's no way that she doesn't. She will be 37 next week. She's already missed couple beats here with injury over the last couple of years. So like I'm not sitting here saying that she can't continue to compete. I mean, Natalya is 40 and will be 41 in May. So like I'm not saying that like Charlotte Flair is at the end of her career, but like she has less career left than she's had. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna get her to 17, you can't have year-long title reigns or something like that. So
she's at a point in her career where she's basically a transitional champion anyway. More or less.
Yeah,
we need someone to step in a couple months to hold the belt to kind of while we develop people. Here's Charlotte
and heat somebody up on the back. Yeah, so it's Rhea. It's absolutely Rhea. All right, there are 6 matches that we do not know yet where they are going to fall. Theoretically speaking, 5 of them are going to end up on night 2. Hell, maybe all 6 are going to end up on night 2, because right now there's 6 on night 1, there's 1 on night 2, and there's 6 other matches. So they're going to fall somewhere, the majority of which are going to fall onto night 2, but we go on anyway. The triple threat match for the Intercontinental title, Gunther defending against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Joe.
I want to see Gunther win, but I feel like getting the title off of him isn't the worst thing, because he should be in the world title picture anyway, especially if Cody wins the belt, and he's going to need challengers, So, fuck it. Let's do it.
Did you say Sheamus? Joe?
He's muted.
You were muted. You cut off there for a second. Did you say Sheamus or Drew?
Sheamus.
Okay, Sheamus. I think I don't know, you guys, you're probably on your earbuds, so they like will cut in and out.
Goes in and out.
EJ.
No, Gunther, it's time for Gunther to get into the top picture. Especially if we believe Roman's gonna be going away for a little while. We need to start get guys, elevate some guys to that picture. And Sheamus will be a long shot for me, but I think Drew is also a safe bet here. This also has early match of the year vibes to me. This thing.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I agree. The Intercontinental title probably gets moved here, and we start that rise towards Royal Rumble next year, possibly Mania next year. With Gunther, I don't think we need to rush him into challenging Cody. Potentially. I'm not.
The only thing, he can't eat the pin. That's all I'm saying. Gunther cannot eat the pin.
Oh yeah, no. He is not going to take the fall. I think Sheamus wins here. Look, Sheamus has been with the WWE. He's probably one of the, if not the longest, maybe not McIntyre. Ziggler might be the only other one that's been consistently on the roster as long as Sheamus.
Yeah.
Miz is up there as well. But Sheamus is not a Grand Slam champion. The only one that he's missing is the Intercontinental title.
Oh, okay.
So I think he gets that moment here. I think he pins Drew McIntyre, and right there, I mean, McIntyre and Sheamus have been in feuds before, so maybe that's your Intercontinental title feud.
I did not know that, Jim. So now, as you said that, I'm changing my pick now, because that makes the most sense now, especially reward him with this, because Drew's beaten him many times during the last couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes any more sense. James win the title. Yeah.
So I like that move. I like him getting the Grand Slam spot. All right, we go to Etch versus the Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell. EJ,
Is this Etch's last match ever?
No.
You sure about that? Okay.
Yeah, no.
His kind of getting a vibe about that. Getting a vibe.
His last match is either going to be on Raw in Toronto in August, or it'll be at SummerSlam.
Was his last Mania match? Probably, you think?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it looked Edge. When I see Edge get the win here, but Balor kind of needs it more. And if we're going with the whole thing of it's the Judgment Day weekend, but Rhea winning it, and we'll get to the other match, father son match later on, then why not go for a trifecta here?
Joe.
Damian Priest feels being the one Judgment Day member who doesn't have a match.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But I think but I think he'll be very much involved in probably in some, if not all the matches.
In all of them?
Yeah, some degree.
And honestly, it might even be a case of they have big plans for him after Mania. Yeah. But it's just something just weird that him and Edge were the original members, and he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, and the Judgment Day has 3. So, damn. But anyway, I think Edge is going to win this one. I think that's how you end this feud and this storyline.
First off, I don't like that we're getting the Demon here. Unless he significantly changes it up. I don't really understand how the Demon character works within the Judgment Day. Maybe that's just me. Maybe they're going to surprise me. Maybe they'll mix up the look a little bit. But it feels odd to have the Demon with Judgment Day. But regardless of that, I've said for a while that I think this is lining up to be Judgment Day's weekend. You can't do that. You can't have that and have him lose to Edge inside Hell in a Cell. So I think Balor wins. We finally put to bed the Judgment Day Edge stuff, and Edge will probably go away for a little while, and then he will come back, and whoever his final feud will be as we get towards the summer, we will see that start to take shape at that point. But yeah, I think Balor gets the win here.
I did see a rumor that Gangrel could be involved in this match.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I also saw a rumor, and I don't believe this for a damn second, that Tony Khan was going to grant Christian, because if they're going to do
I saw that too. Yeah.
That Tony Khan's going to grant Christian like a one-night pass to head over to WWE. I don't believe that for a freaking second.
But keep it in back pocket. Never know.
for forbidden doors are forbidden doors. But when the LA Times is doing an article today saying that the AEW being the WWE's first real competition in 20 years, and AEW is about to go on their run, you're not going to have your guys showing up on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
sorry.
I saw that. I mean, if the article was written 2-3 years ago, I give it more believability, but no, not in 2023.
Yeah.
No.
All right. The Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I guess we're doing that for the men and the women. Huh.
Yeah.
How about that? So instead of the Battle Royals, we're getting show. I'm actually fine with that. I know we're getting the Andre on SmackDown on Friday, but okay. Yeah, I don't hate it. All right. We got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Natalya and Shotzi. And if they're not called Shots Through the Heart, they're doing something wrong. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. EJ.
I mean, the other answer than Ronda and Shayna, right? There's no other answer.
Yeah.
Honestly. Other than Ronda's injury, maybe. But still, even then.
That's a big wild card, right?
Right. Other than that, I don't see why they don't win that match.
Joseph.
That I actually am about 95% sure that this match only exists so Ronda Rousey could win a match at WrestleMania. And honestly, it gets 7 other women on the card, so I'm not mad about it, you know?
Yeah, the only other team that I could see winning is Chelsea and Sonya. But like I thought they were doing Chelsea and Carmella, so I don't know if Carmella is like a injury scratch or
Yeah,
something.
I saw a report that she's out for a little while with some undisclosed thing.
Okay. Well, hopefully everything's okay because I know
Yeah.
like her and Corey have been through some like
Yeah.
personal stuff like with the loss of her pregnancy. So hopefully everything is on the up and up there. Carmella is Carmella is one of the best, one of the most versatile players the WWE has. So if this Chelsea and Sonya tag team is going to be something, and quite honestly, I think it could be. I think they both play that like entitled Karen bitch role pretty well. I think Chelsea Green has been phenomenal in that role since she has come back. So if that's going to be a thing, I think they win. I will predict Ronda and Shayna because it does kind of have that feel like this is just to get a WrestleMania win for Ronda Rousey, but I think Chelsea and Sonya are the wild card in this one. All right, the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. We have the odd couple tag team of Braun Strowman and Ricochet that somehow just fucking work, taking on the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. Joseph.
One, right? Because I don't know that you need the Street Profits winning because I really do think it's time for Montez Ford to get a singles run. But the Street Profits winning and coming out of this as top contenders for who I predict to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn isn't a bad thing either. With the story they've been telling with Chad Gable and Otis, I don't think that Alpha Academy is going to win. I think there's going to be some sort of malfunction at the junction with those two. Viking Raiders are just sort of there. You know, they exist. They're a
Right.
thing.
And how sad is that? Like, let's be honest about it. Like, how sad is like War Machine is just there.
They really should matter more. And I even like I don't feel like that they don't try. Like I don't like the company puts them in big positions. They were fighting Sheamus. They were fighting Sheamus and Drew McIntyre just a few weeks ago. Like the company's definitely putting them out there. If it's just not connecting, it's just not connecting. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Street Profits on this one.
Okay. All right, EJ.
Yeah, I second that. I second that also too. I also think they almost ready for a Montez Ford solo run and possible heel turn with Bianca down the road. If this weekend, obviously, we'll see. But yeah, I'm Profits here.
I'll be different. I'll go Strowman and Ricochet. It's such a weird team and it works. Yeah, the Viking Raid. Honestly, I feel like it's almost like the characters are almost like too over the top, right? Like they almost just, and I get like it's not like War Machine wasn't, but like the Viking Raiders thing is just yeah, it feels like too much. Yeah, I think Alpha Academy's on the way to Splitsville. The Street Profits, like it's not even that like Montez Ford going on a singles run, I don't think necessarily signifies the end of the Street Profits. I think you can almost create like a stable in and of themselves. Like you have those two, you hook back up with you hook up with Bianca, maybe you get a Carmelo Hayes call up. And like he's part of that group.
I like that.
Carmelo. So you know, and there's kind of this heel swagger to them. But yeah, I think Strowman and Ricochet work. I will certainly not be upset if the Street Profits win. But yeah, I think just to be a little bit different, and like I said, like even in like the tag team tournament when they were determining number one contenders, Strowman and Ricochet, they have this weird chemistry that they just kind of work. They just kind of work as a team. All right, next one we have Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio. And before we get to the predictions, give Dominic Mysterio his fucking flowers, man. Like if you have not watched his promo for Monday on Raw, go watch it. Like, this dude, okay, during the pandemic era, even coming out of the pandemic era, when fans started to come back and in the Thunderdome, like, this dude could not have looked more lost and useless and not believable in a wrestling ring. And like, he is one of my absolute like favorite people to watch on a weekly basis, week in and week out in this company. And like this role in the Judgment Day,
Oh, without question,
is just, it is so made for him. And like, this feud with his dad is perfect. But Joe, we'll start with you first. Ray and Dominic.
I know you
Go ahead,
guys
Joe.
really want the whole Judgment Day winning streak, but I don't see how Ray loses this one. But damn, I'd be happy if Tom won. I'm not gonna lie, but give me Ray.
All right, EJ.
I don't think Dominic gets hurt by losing because most of the world, if not the entire world, is rooting for Ray to win. But it does make the most sense for Dominic to win because he's the one that needs the rub here. And by the way, credit, you talk about the rebrand here for Dominic. More reason why Rhea should be the top champion coming out this weekend, because Rhea gets a chunk of the credit for Dominic, the rub there.
Oh my God, yeah, 100%.
Making it even more viable. So in that case, I think, like I said, I'm with you. The Judgment Day weekend, I think the trifecta. Give me Dominic.
Honestly, okay, like, and it's so strange because like it's his Hall of Fame weekend, but like you think about it, like we've seen guys like get inducted and like have their last match of the same weekend before. Not only do I think Dominic should win, I think this should be Rey Mysterio's last match. Like every time Rey Mysterio wrestles, I'm afraid he's going to be hurt. Like, because for a while there, like that's kind of what was happening, right? And like, what else is there for Rey Mysterio to do? He's done it all. He's been world champion. He's obviously been a cruiserweight. Him and Dominic won the tag team titles. He's been a mid-card champion. But like in 2023 in WWE, like what else is there for Rey Mysterio? And I don't know if the guy is ready to be done, but he's 48 years old. I don't know what else there is for Rey Mysterio to do. At the very least, Dom wins. But I think what a way to go out. Like to put your son over and to to make him this big star and elevate him in this role that he's been excelling at by beating you.
Is the ultimate gift, yeah. Ultimate gift.
Would be the ultimate gift. And I mean, family and wrestling and everything, like it kind of has that feel to it, right? Like it just kind of has that feel to it to me. All right, then we go to the match that could potentially, especially now again with Cena in theory being announced as the night one opener, certainly I think is the strongest contender for opening night 2. Even though I would have done it differently. Tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. We have the Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. EJ, I'll go to you first.
I mean, this could really go either way, depending on where the story is going. Because this is one part of a large story, not just with these 4, but also with Roman and what happens to him and Cody in the main event. I mean, I'm gonna pick KO and Sammy because this is obviously the payoff. I think the payoff here for Sammy is big here. We're getting a tag team title, but it would not shock me if the Usos retain here.
Okay. Joseph.
I'm gonna take Sammy and Kevin because I really, really, really want to see them win the titles at WrestleMania. I don't think I've cared about a tag title match at WrestleMania this much since ever, possibly. Like
I mean Twin Towers and Rockers. Wow.
I don't know.
Like,
The Heart Foundation and the Bolsheviks
maybe-
were there at
Yeah.
WrestleMania 5.
maybe TLC at WrestleMania 17 might be the last time I actually cared this much. So I want to see
You cut
Kevin
out,
and
Joe.
Sammy win. I agree with Ernest though. Like this isn't necessarily. There's nothing to actually say that the storyline ends at WrestleMania. And granted, Kevin and Sammy can win the belts, and the storyline can still continue one way or the other. But there's no guarantees for sure. Like this just like Roman and Cody. I got to give them credit for as much as it's interesting. For as much as certain beats in the story felt very obvious and very like, okay, Sammy's gonna have to turn on Roman at some point. Jay is gonna have to turn on Sammy at some point. Like there were these things that it was just like, okay, these are gonna happen, and when they happened, they were awesome and they were so well executed, and everyone was really excited for them. But they were obvious that they were gonna happen. There were certain points, there were certain benchmarks in this storyline that definitely had to be hit. And I say all that to say we're now at the point where we don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't feel 100% like Kevin and Sammy must win the tag titles for this to be successful or for this to continue or for this to be over. It doesn't feel like Cody 100% is definitely going to beat Roman for the belt. It feels 99% like Cody is going to beat Roman for the belt. But there's nobody who's paying attention who isn't feeling that 1%, that little bit in the back of their head of Roman's been champion for this long. Nobody's beaten him. He's pulled off. Everyone thought that Edge or Bryan was going to beat him. Everyone thought that Sammy was going to beat him. Everyone thought Cena was going to beat him. There's been so many times, and he never gets beaten. So you know what? Everyone thinks Cody's going to beat him. Who says? Every other time it's not followed through. Who says? This is the moment they've been building to. It's okay that the other moments were predictable because these moments aren't. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kevin and Sammy, but I don't feel at all like it's 100% sure shot thing like I did with some other matches and some other stories over the years.
I'll tell you what, it's closer, in my opinion, closer to 50-50 in this match, honestly. Didn't realize. Because the whole story is so up in the air. And, I can see a scenario where Roman loses and the Usos win have the titles, and now you have the infighting and, well, yeah, Roman, you acknowledge you, yeah, but you're not the champion anymore. We are. I can see a lot of this going in a lot of different directions post WrestleMania. So,
yeah. So Joe, was your like official pick KO and Sammy? I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is up there with the most interesting decisions of the entire weekend and hardest to call matches of the entire weekend. It really depends on what happens with Cody and Roman, but also even going under the assumption Cody winning, it depends how they want to tell the bloodline story. Do they want to tell it, well, now Jay, who's been kind of at odds with Roman throughout this entire story, is now trying to test Roman actually being on top? Because, well, I have a title now and you don't, Tribal Chief. Or is, because we've already starting to see the cracks. Solo kind of defying Roman a bit a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, and Solo losing to Cody, his first loss on Raw this past week. Is the Usos losing the next step in the downfall? And also, again, the story, the titles are important in the story, but the story has been about Jay wanting to be recognized on the level of Roman Reigns and that family. So you can tell the story. You can tell the bloodline story without titles. All that said, regardless of what happens in the main event, Cody versus Roman, I think this is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn time. Like these two, the story of them and their journey and getting back together and all of that supersedes the Usos tag team title reigns. Because you can continue, they can keep fighting for him, or there can be more going on after the fact once that's over. But especially, again, I talked about Theory and Cena setting the tone for the weekend. If this is, and I think it likely will be, the opener tonight too, this sets the tone for the whole night. Bloodline opens the show, Bloodline closes the show. If the Usos lose, then Roman goes through the entire night. Again, I would have had it start the night before, so Roman has a whole day to have that added pressure on him. But I get it, compact the story. But Roman has the whole night now to go, I really need to win because these motherfuckers blew it in the opening match. Now I have to do this for the family. So I think this one, without a question, the titles leave the Bloodline. KO and Sami Zayn are your new tag champions.
And to the point, real quick, this subplot here is the reason why this storyline is arguably the greatest storyline in history of WWE.
Yeah,
there's layers to it. It's not just about Roman anymore. It's Roman and other layers, and you add a layer with Sammy, and then this is what makes wrestling, this storyline, the arguably greatest storyline in history of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, don't listen to like the Eric Bischoff podcast, but they were actually talking about this on this week's episode. And Bischoff, it was interesting because they were asking, the question was, would you wrap this storyline up, or could you keep this storyline going? And obviously, Bischoff, having done the whole NWO storyline, he was talking about it, and he was like, look, the interesting thing about this storyline is it does have the ability to keep going. There are so many characters and so many moving pieces, and there are people you can move out of it and move new people into it and have them play new roles and tell new stories with it. Like, this doesn't have to be the end of the Bloodline. It's like the Bloodline doesn't have to just, like, it's almost like the Bloodline itself is like a TV show. It's like Dallas or like Empire, and this is the end of season 1. Doesn't have to be the end of season 2. It doesn't have to be the end of the series. Like, you can have a season 2, and like, there's story to tell here. Like you said, there's the stuff they've shown with Solo. There's the stuff they've shown with the Usos, with Jay especially, and like, there's Paul Heyman. You can never really trust Paul Heyman in any of this.
Of course not.
And like you said, like, there's so much more to this than just the titles. The titles are almost a MacGuffin in this whole thing. Once we get the titles out of the way and we get the titles out of the picture, it's going to become kind of a different thing in certain ways.
all right. We do have, I think, Mike, you're muted on your end.
Michael?
Thank you. Yeah.
Any good news or no?
I don't know what your definition of good news is.
Like, are you going to make it to LA?
Yes.
All right. That's good enough news.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that there's good news in this scenario, but we'll go with that.
All right, we have made our way through both cards. We are at the really the two matches that matter most.
All right, let me rapid fire. Let me rapid fire winners then.
All right, let me run them off to you so we don't miss any.
Okay.
Theory, Cena. Rollins, Paul.
Franklin.
All right. Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control.
Control Alt Delete.
Lesnar, Omos.
Who gives a shit?
Fair. Bianca Asuka.
Nobody ready for Asuka.
Charlotte Rhea.
This is my brutality.
All right. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew.
Dre.
Etch, Demon.
I don't think Triple H will let them fuck the Demon up anymore. Go Balor.
All right. Liv and Raquel, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda and Shayna, Chelsea and Sonya.
Piss break.
Fair.
Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. Strowman and Ricochet, still a dick. The Street Profits, Alpha Academy, or the Viking Raiders.
No.
Another piss break.
I'm literally thinking about it. Like Gable and Otis will probably break up at the show. You know what? Fuck it. As much as I despise them, give me team bald dickheads.
All right.
Penises.
Ray versus Dominic.
Dom.
All right. And then we are at the one we are at now, the Usos defending against KO and Sammy.
Have you all made your choices in this match?
Yeah.
We have EJ went Usos, right?
No, I went KO and
You went
Sammy.
KO and
But
Sammy?
I'll be shocked if it was win.
We all went KO and Sammy.
I mean, I am the guy who likes to start conspiracy theories on this show, but I don't think I can make one here. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the more intriguing storylines, but I feel like the result is fairly predictable, right? Like I think that's
Maybe, yeah.
All right, well, that leaves us with one match and one match only. The journey of 900 plus days and the journey of a lifetime lead us to Sunday night.
I thought you just said Lita. I was like, how the hell did she get here?
Lead us to what is probably going to be about 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, April the 2nd. Cody Rhodes brings the American flag bus into Inglewood to take on the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
So
Joe,
wait, what you're saying is Dusty left him the Lex Express when he died?
Yes, that's what happened. So Joe, we'll start with you here.
Can I also say, because I was thinking of it when Mike made his prediction for the one match, I'm sort of surprised with all the marketing that WWE does that we don't yet have a Rhea Ripley. This is my Brutale Earl Grey tea. I think that would sell like hotcakes on
Probably.
the WWE store. This feels the same as the Sammy and Kevin and Usos, right? Like, I feel like I already made my prediction in my talk about that match, right? 99% sure Cody Rhodes is going to win. 1% really poking at me right now that says that Roman might do it. Gonna pick Cody. Go on record as saying that I really think there's at least a 1% real chance that Roman still wins.
All right, EJ, I'll go to you.
Well, I was at 99% of Cody at Royal Rumble. And then every week since then, that number dramatically shrunk to the point now I'm probably 60-40 Cody at this point. Cody seems obvious. I think I'm more curious at how they execute it. I don't know if I buy into Cody winning clean and just winning pure babyface and that's just it. And that's the payoff. And then we go separate ways. Something big has happened here. So I can see things that can happen from Roman retaining, something where Heyman could turn on Roman and go with Cody. I don't know. I mean, anything. This is why this story is so beautiful, is that you can't leave anything up a chance. And anything could be possible here. So I'm going to go with the obvious. What I thought has been obvious for the last year. We've been saying Cody from returning last year, Mania. Cody Mania running wild, brother. But I don't know, man. I'm actually more intrigued by how they execute it. What do they do to get to the end here? So I'll go Cody, but just like I said with the Usos and the KO Sammy match, it's a lot closer to 50-50 than I think people give credit for.
All right.
Michael.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something. Cody Rhodes. Inject that fucker into my veins. Yeah, he's winning the fucking title. And if you don't think so, I don't really care what you have to think, because it's gonna happen, because it's the son of the dream, baby. So give me the Cody, because at the end of the day, this should have happened back at SummerSlam, and it didn't. And the only reason why we're talking about 1,000 days is because he got hurt.
It's fair. Yeah.
Was it better that he wins it on this stage anyway than SummerSlam because it's Mania?
I think anybody that wins the titles from Roman Reigns, I don't necessarily know that the stage actually matters.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out for the better because it's happening at WrestleMania.
Right.
Like Rhodes
Correct.
is main eventing WrestleMania.
The roads to WrestleMania.
Something that has also never happened before. So it adds even more to this part of the story. Man, dude, I have been on like the basically like no chance this isn't Cody train for months, right? And like the closer we're getting to it, the more I'm just going like I'm starting to have that like doubt in my head of like, are we sure? Are we sure? We're sure, right? We're definitely sure. Right? Like we are.
This is the fun part, though. That's the fun part of this whole thing.
It's the best part, because like, you know, like there's always that fear, and I don't even want there to necessarily be that fear, because like this is a new WWE, right? Like this isn't like Vince is gonna get us. Like he's gonna be like, you fuckers is hilarious, you know, like. So I don't want to doubt my guy. I've been a Triple H guy forever. Like I don't want to doubt him, but like I'm not gonna lie. There's part of me that's still like, you know, and maybe I spent too much time on TikTok and the algorithms just starting to fuck with my brain. And like there's all these videos like the fans like reacting where you hear like the 1, 2, 3 and you hear the bell and Roman's music starts playing and we're all just like, what the fuck just happened, right? Like and like. I guess, there's a chance it still happens. Like, let's be fair. There's a chance it still happens. I'm picking Cody. I'm not abandoning the thing that I've said since the lights went out in Dallas last year and the music hit. Like he's going to be the dude. And I think it is a clean win. Like if he turns heel at some point, hell, even if Heyman becomes the dude with him at some point, which I don't think is actually going to happen. You don't do it now. Like Cody is the hottest, whitest meat baby face that this company has had since the peak of John Cena. Like it really is. I mean, you're seeing kids get the weight belt and they're crying in the front row, and it's, you know, it's Hulkamania without the racism, brother. Like it's just awesome. Like what they're printing money with Cody Rhodes right now. So you run that until people get sick of seeing it.
I'm
a little shocked that Mike didn't concoct his whole other what if scenario.
What is there to concoct at this point? You've had a guy who has held the titles, both titles, for 358 days. He's held the Universal title for over 900 days. And we can count the matches that he's had on national televised shows on probably two hands. It worked for a while with Brock, and then it became, okay, I'm sick and fucking tired of this. And I think we've reached the same point. The crescendo of the bloodline has to start its downward motion, because it already started it back at the Royal Rumble with Sammy being excommunicated. You can't keep going up once you've started the down trajectory. You have to finish the story. Cody has a t-shirt out that says, finish the story. You finish the story. And how do you finish the story? By the Roman Empire crumbling. And what better place to do it than on the grandest stage of them all, inside a brand new state-of-the-art building in front of 70,000 people in Hollywood. You don't write a better Hollywood ending for a storyline in anywhere but Hollywood.
Yeah,
You said it.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going Cody.
My question.
Can I just? Okay, go ahead.
My question coming out of this to you: where does it leave our favorite mid-sized SUV, Toyota Sequoia?
Another layer.
Because I inevitably believe he is the reason why Roman Reigns goes away. I believe he's the one that puts Roman on the shelf for a vacation.
Oh, I agree with you on that. I 100%
definitely
agree
see
with
that.
you on
I
that.
could definitely see that.
Can I just say, though, one thing that popped into my head when you were talking about, the Hollywood ending? So all remember, Rocky doesn't win at the end of Rocky.
But he does win at the end of Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9,
Right.
13,
But this is Cody's first
36.
chance at the belt. Rocky won. All I'm saying.
Fair. Yeah, and like I said, I think we can't lie to ourselves to say that there's no chance that Roman walks out with the belts. Because there is certainly a chance, whether you want to believe it's 50-50, 60-40, 85-15,
1%.
like there's no way that it's 100% Cody. To me anyway.
Fuck with your head, man. TikToks. Well, I mean, I think it's gonna be Cody ultimately. I'm more intrigued by how they do it. That's all.
Yeah. I'm
Execution matters.
I'm as curious about post WrestleMania Bloodline as I have been about Gold Collector's Bloodline, because again, I've said for weeks that this storyline is more about the family and more about Jay versus Roman than it has been about the titles. Like the titles may have been like the flashy looking exterior of the house, but the family story is the foundation of it.
The titles were needed when he came back from the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And the storyline took off into second, third, and fourth gear. The titles became an afterthought. And I truly feel like they've been an afterthought ever since. So to me, the biggest mistake was them unifying them last year at WrestleMania, but that's neither here nor there. They made that decision. They went on with it. Let's move on with it. Because I still think the Universal title being the main part of that storyline would have been enough without having to add the WWE title to it, because let's not forget, Jey Uso tried to beat Roman Reigns for the Universal title.
Exactly. So
the Universal title by itself is enough to keep that him always looking over Roman's shoulder, thinking that he should have gotten it. The WWE title wasn't a necessity to be part of the storyline. They threw it in. I'm not going to say that it's done anything to make this storyline even better. He's just carrying around two titles to make it look shinier. It is what it is. I think that coming out of this, whether it's one title and we keep the thought process on the mid-card titles with it, or if it's Cody looks at it and goes, I only want the WWE title. You guys can do whatever you want to with this blue piece of junk Monday night. Like, cool. Or if it's he has 2 titles and the winner of the Money in the Bank can cash in on one of them. I don't know. There's a lot more questions and answers on what the next step is for the WWE World Heavyweight Intergalactic Universal Starship Enterprise Championship title belt. No matter who walks out of LA on Sunday night with it.
Right.
I think we're at a point though, we're at a culmination of something, and this is one of those. I feel like this is the 2020s version of Hogan versus Warrior, because you have the 2 biggest entities in professional wrestling going right now, having a match inside of a 70,000 seat arena. Yes, I know they're both not face versus face. I know they're both not champions coming into this, but you have the 2 biggest acts at the time since we've turned to 2020 to 2023. This is Hogan Warrior to me, from the standpoint of this is what the 10, 11, 12-year-old kids are going to be talking about to their kids in 20 years, the way that we talk about Savage Steamboat, Savage Hogan, Hogan Warrior, those matches. So when I say this, I think, and it's weird because we've lived in a world for so long where the good guy always wins. I just don't know that if this is the match that you can let the good guy lose. It's just the culmination of not just the bloodline, but the culmination of a guy who debuted at, WrestleMania 26 in Arizona, culmination of him becoming Stardust and being involved in the ladder match at Heist of the Century, that one. Then you have, he leaves because he's not happy. He goes and hones his craft doing other things, tries to start a revolution, and then found out that the revolution was good and fine and dandy until he lost power in the revolution. So he decided to go, back home. And I truly feel like one of his biggest regrets was leaving, whether he enjoyed his time on the indies, whether he enjoyed doing the things in AEW. I feel like there's part of me that believes deep down he regrets leaving because he lost time with Dusty.
Perhaps, yeah.
So I think you close the chapter. You let the Rhodes family have this moment, because if there's a family in this business that when you look at it top to bottom, from Dusty to Dustin to Cody, none of them have held a world title. Or at least the WWE title. Dusty held, yes. But they were 3 guys that when you needed somebody, main event, mid-card, opener, didn't matter. You plug in a Rhodes, you're going to have a hell of a storyline, because you're going to have a hell of a promo, and you're going to have a hell of a fucking build to the damn thing. I think it's time you punch the ticket. Load me up on Mountain Dew Pitch Black and the Nightmare Narcotic, and let's get this fucker going.
All right, so that's WrestleMania. Obviously it's Saturday, Sunday, 8:00 Eastern time. The shows officially kick off. Mike, I mean, I feel like at this point we're almost 2 hours in. Do we want to hold off the remainder of the bracket to next week? I mean, we're going to be wrapping up WrestleMania anyway, so WrestleMania is still topical. I'll levy that to you, though.
I'll levy that to the floor, because at the end of the day, I don't necessarily care either way.
I personally would like to leave it to next week when we're when it's
yeah, that's fine. I mean,
we can
come in fresh,
give it its proper time, because we do want to hit of course Wrestlers of the Week as well here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I didn't even work right now today. Forgot.
Let's take care of wrestlers of the week.
All right, let me open up my Excel spreadsheet because I closed it whenever I was
That is fair. You were
scurrying around like a chicken with my fucking head cut off.
You were justifiably preoccupied. There.
Yeah, for those of you that somehow fast forwarded to like the 1 hour and 35-minute mark of this show, don't know how the fuck you did that, but congratulations, here we are. I've been scurrying, and the reason why you haven't heard my elegant voice is because our flight got canceled. So literally, I've been on the phone trying to get things rebooked because, still have to get out there somehow. So a lot of fun. So all right, because Ernest is back for a week, let's give him the first pick. Fuck it.
I'll go Cody. I'll go Cody and the Sequoia, Soul Sequoia in undefeated streak on Raw. So I'll go Cody. Sequoia.
Do you actually think his last name is Sequoia, or you just?
I'm rolling with it now.
I mean, I think you have to roll with it now.
Yeah.
You fucked that up enough. I'm going second. I'll go Twinkle Toes McFingerbang for beating Jeff Cobb tonight on the Revolution show.
All right,
Jim.
You know what? Give me the guy. I know it wasn't the biggest marquee match you can ever have, but to officially come back and make his return from what was a horrible post-concussion situation. Give me Adam Cole, Bay.
Nacho Cheese, Bay.
Old Bay.
Joseph.
Go ahead and take someone who, for some random ass reason, beat a 2-time world champion on Raw this week, and that's Gunther.
All right.
Ernest.
Shit.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know. I actually forgot to bring it. Who'd you take again, Jim?
The picks so far have been Omega, Cody, Gunther, and Adam Cole, Bebe.
You know what? I'll go Omos. This fucking for the segment with Brock.
Cool. So someone I don't have to worry about putting in the top 15.
Right.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is also the last one of the month, right? So
yes, correct. You know what? I'm gonna give this one the pick, and it's only because I want to give this guy a little love because of what happened on Friday afternoon when we were kind of searching around on the Twitter. Shout out to the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion of all time, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, had to relinquish the title due to a torn bicep, which he has had successful surgery on, according to multiple reports. Obviously T's and P's to Josh and his family and stuff like that. But I feel like I'd be remiss to not give a little love to the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion of all time, Josh Alexander.
I like it.
Jim, it's your floor for your last pick.
Give me Trey Miguel. Retained the Impact X Division title at Sacrifice last week. He's been having a pretty long and successful run with this title. So yeah, we'll give him his flowers there.
Joseph, wrap it up.
The new GCW World Heavyweight Champion.
You're picking her again? Did he die?
Yeah, it's been in and out all night. This thing.
All right, I'm just gonna put Masha because at this point, if it's gonna change, I'll put something on Twitter at some point during my layover tomorrow.
Perfect.
New York City, baby.
So let's peel the layer back real quick.
Sure, why not?
This big bad boy up.
Start to wrap up.
So I open up hey, your flight's been fucking canceled, asshole. And I'm like, okay. That was the reaction that if you're watching on YouTube, you saw me just kind of throw my headphones down, and then Jim booted me out of the video, thankfully, because I think there was a lot of just screaming and F-bombs, and I think I threw something at the same time. So kudos to Jim for being quick on the trigger with that one. At first, my options were to fly from Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta. have a 45-minute layover in Atlanta, fly Atlanta to Nashville, have an hour and 25-minute layover in Nashville, and then fly Nashville to LAX. Or it was Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta to San Diego to LAX. I've now conquered the task of I am now flying tomorrow a little bit closer to home, PBI to JFK. I leave here at 7:40, I believe it is, a.m. I land at JFK at like 10:30. I leave JFK at 12 and land in LAX at about 3, so about 4 hours later than what my original arrival time was. Joe has decided to stay in Florida for the extra day, and he's taking the direct flight Friday morning. I told myself that when I booked this that I've already spent the money on the hotel room, and I already booked a car through Turo, the car rental where you're renting somebody else's car. And I don't necessarily know their cancellation policy, so I really don't want to be out the money that I spent on that. So
That's fair.
I'll pick up the car 4 hours later and enjoy the rest of the day, doing some quick stuff that I got to get done. Because if I flew in Friday, that would have shot everything that I had planned for Friday, including going to Anaheim and going to the schools that I wanted to go see and stuff like that. So I made the decision to fly in early. But yeah, a lot of fun. About a 47 or 48-minute phone call with Delta. The lady I talked to was extremely helpful. Kept searching all the different airports for me, but just there was no direct flights for tomorrow after
did they explain to you why they canceled?
So the thing it said was a mechanical issue that obviously doesn't go into, what the mechanical issue is. Could have been something as small as the cap to somebody's light broke and they can't fly if it's broken. I don't know. I didn't ask. It's just one of those. It came up mechanical. So we started this show and we were in a pretty hyped up mood because I was going back to Cali, and still are just a little bit later than normal. So a little rough, but you guys carried the heavy load for me today, so appreciate that as always. Ernest, we'll let you plug some stuff since you haven't been here for a while, then we'll get the hell out of here.
All right, man. Ernest Podcast, of course, all podcast catchers. I did another my own Mania preview with my buddy Duke on a couple days ago. Also, the baseball starts tomorrow, so you check out me and Mike's a baseball preview we did last week, which was really, really good stuff. Honestly, creative tomorrow, opening day. Can't wait. If you love basketball, check me out on the Huddle Up Podcast, Huddle Up Incorporated feed, and one
Huddle Up Pink,
Jim,
baby.
Yeah, hopefully I get you a show tomorrow, Jim. We'll see how everything plays out tomorrow. Other than that, I'm on Twitter at eachwitch7, and looking forward to Mania, man. Pumped up for this weekend. I can't wait.
Joseph, you have anything?
Just a fear of flying. I do wish. I wish I didn't have that fear of flying because it sucks. But yeah, no, I'm just Wrestlemania. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, at least you'll get on a plane. So you're better than me. So
as soon as I heard the words mechanical issues, don't think I didn't start being like, wait, can I not get there in 2 days?
How long is it to drive to LA? Let me see. It's 7.
Too long is the sad part.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. I got you. But I wish you guys safe travels. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Follow 3 Count Thursday at 3 Count Thursday on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. And at Huddle Up Podcast just dropped their first off-season episode. You know the deal. Hit the link tree and all the shows, all the social medias, all of that. So you can get everywhere you need to go. Mike, Joe, seriously, I know tonight did not go as either of you had planned. But deep breath. You guys are going to get there. You're going to have an awesome weekend. It's WrestleMania, so I hope you guys have a hell of a time.
The streak lives. Trust me.
You can follow the show at Take3 Wrestling. You can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. Wrestlers of the Week stuff will be up. I'll send you guys all that stuff again some point tomorrow. layover or when I land in California, and or else then tonight before I go to bed, whatever it is. Other than that, guys, again, appreciate you guys carrying the load tonight while I had to deal with the unfortunate business that we had to take care of. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend. Check out the extended 3CT show tomorrow live on Facebook on their stuff. I'll probably be in the comments floating around since I won't have much to do now. But until we talk about the fallout of the roads to WrestleMania, we wish you all a safe and happy weekend. If you're going to be in California and you want to hang out with us, hit me up on Twitter. Other than that, guys, stay safe. We'll see you guys soon right here on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.